think you're in control? No, you're a slave. Your emotions own you. Your fears dictate your choices. Your past drags you like a chain around your neck. And you just take it. Like a dog getting kicked, hoping for some mercy. But mercy ain't coming. You either master your mind or get swallowed by it. Numbers don't lie. 80% of people quit after their first failure. 95% will never see past their comfort zone. 99% let emotions steer their actions. And only 1%, they run the world. Not because they're lucky. Not because they were born special. But because they understood the one rule nobody teaches. Control your mind or be controlled. You keep saying you want change, yet you wake up late. You scroll through garbage. You let distractions eat your focus alive. 86% of people check their phone within 5 minutes of waking up. You think that's random? No, it's engineered addiction. Every notification, every like, every little dopamine hit, it's a leash. And you're wagging your tail. Look at your habits, break them down. 60% of what you do every day is unconscious. Patterns, repetitions, autopilot mode. And guess what? That autopilot is programmed by someone else. Every ad you see, every piece of media, every stupid little trend, they know what they're doing. You don't. And that's why you're losing. Your thoughts shape you. 70,000 thoughts per day. And most of yours, useless. Complaints, regrets, worries. What if this? What if that? Weakness. Your brain is a machine, but you're running it on junk data. You don't filter. You don't analyze. You just consume. Like a puppet. A walking, breathing algorithm. Discipline. That's the cheat code. It's the thing that separates masters from losers. And yet, only 8% of people stick to their goals. Why? Because discipline hurts. It means saying no when you want to say yes. It means showing up when you don't feel like it. It means owning your mind instead of letting it run wild like some stray dog. You want to win? Then suffer now, so you don't have to suffer later. 90% of people chase comfort. And what do they get? Regret, depression, emptiness. You think taking it easy is the path? No, it's the trap. The longer you stay soft, the harder the fall. Your feelings don't matter. Your actions do. You feel tired? Work anyway. You feel unmotivated? Work anyway. You feel lost? Work anyway. Because the moment you give in to feelings, you lose control. The moment you hesitate, the moment you pause to complain, the moment you wait for motivation, you're done. Nobody cares how you feel. The world moves on, whether you're broken or whole. Your emotions are weapons when controlled, but chains when left unchecked. And right now, you're shackled, drowning in your own head, letting every useless thought, every cheap dopamine hit, every weak excuse dictate your life. Break the cycle, wake up with intention, cut the noise, delete the distractions, make decisions based on logic, not feelings. If it doesn't make you stronger, cut it. If it doesn't get you closer, drop it. If it's wasting your time, burn it. Because if you don't, it'll bury you. You've been lied to. Since the day you were born, you were programmed to be weak. Society feeds you comfort, drowns you in distractions, numbs your mind with pointless pleasures, and then laughs as you rot in mediocrity. They don't want you strong. They don't want you disciplined. They don't want you thinking for yourself. Because the moment you master your mind, you become dangerous. And dangerous men don't obey. Dangerous men don't waste time. Dangerous men don't sit around waiting for the world to hand them something. They take it. But look at yourself. You hesitate. You doubt. You overthink. You're too scared to make a move because you fear failure more than you fear regret. And that's why you lose. That's why you stay stuck in the same place, year after year, watching other people rise while you make excuses. You blame your past. You blame your circumstances. You blame everything except the one thing actually stopping you, yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody cares if you stay weak. The world keeps moving, with or without you. And the only question is, are you going to keep up, or are you going to get left behind? You think emotions make you human? No. Control makes you human. The moment you let emotions lead, you become an animal, a puppet to your impulses, a slave to your mood swings. And that's exactly what they want. They want you chasing instant gratification. They want you emotionally unstable, reacting instead of acting, consuming instead of creating. Because weak men are easy to control. Weak men are predictable. Weak men never rise. And right now you're one of them. Every time you scroll mindlessly, every time you choose comfort over discipline, every time you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, you're proving one thing. You don't want success. You just want to feel like you're trying. But let me tell you something. Trying is not enough. Trying is what failures do to make themselves feel better about losing. Trying is what people say when they want credit for effort without results. Effort means nothing without execution. Intentions mean nothing without discipline. Nobody cares how much you tried if you didn't finish the job. The only thing that matters is, did you get it done? Did you put in the work day after day, when nobody was watching, when nobody was cheering you on, when nobody believed in you? Or did you fold? Did you give up the second things got uncomfortable? Did you fall back into the same pathetic cycle of excuses and distractions? You want to master your mind? Then kill your weaknesses. Burn them. Bury them. Erase them from existence. No more overthinking. No more emotional reactions. No more waiting for motivation. You move because you command yourself to move. You work because that's who you are. You execute because hesitation is not an option. Because every time you hesitate, every time you second guess, every time you let your feelings dictate your actions, you weaken your own power. And weak men don't get to choose their future. Weak men get used. They get manipulated. They get crushed under the weight of their own indecision. And that's not going to be you. Not anymore. Discipline is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing separating those who build their own destiny from those who live on their knees, begging for scraps. And discipline is not a feeling. It's not about motivation. It's not about waiting for the right time. It's about doing what needs to be done, no matter what. You don't negotiate with your own mind. You don't allow weakness to creep in. You don't entertain thoughts of quitting, or doubting, or slowing down. You execute relentlessly, without hesitation, without compromise, because the second you give yourself an inch of leeway, you've already lost. People will tell you to take it easy. They'll tell you to rest, to be kind to yourself, to enjoy life. You know what that really means? Stay weak, stay controlled, stay in line like the rest of the sheep. But you're not one of them. You were never meant to be. You weren't born to follow. You weren't born to settle. You weren't born to live some mediocre existence where every day feels the same, where your dreams rot inside your mind because you were too much of a coward to chase them. But dreaming isn't enough. Wanting isn't enough. Only action matters. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is discipline. That's it. No magic formula, no secret trick, just relentless, ruthless, uncompromising action. Day after day, month after month, year after year, until your mind becomes a weapon so sharp, so focused, so unstoppable that nothing, not fear, not doubt, not pain, can break you. Because at the end of the day, you either control your mind or it controls you. And if you let it control you, you've already lost. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep being a slave to your weaknesses? Or are you going to take control once and for all? Your mind is the only battlefield that matters. Win here, and you win everywhere. Lose here, and it doesn't matter how much money you make, how many people praise you, how much comfort you build around yourself. You will still be a prisoner, because real control isn't about what's outside. It's about what's inside. And right now, you're losing. Your thoughts run wild, undisciplined, like a riot with no order, no structure, no purpose. You get pulled in every direction by impulses, by emotions, by the slightest inconvenience, and you wonder why you're stuck, why you feel lost, why nothing ever changes. It's because you never took control. You never stood up and said, "Enough, I run this. My mind is mine." You let it own you instead of you owning it. And if you don't take control soon, it will destroy you. Look at history. Every empire that fell, every king that lost his throne, every leader that crumbled, it wasn't the enemy outside that killed them. It was the enemy inside. Corruption, weakness, self-doubt, comfort. The moment they stopped mastering themselves, they lost. And you're no different. You want to be unstoppable. Then you cut the rod from within. You stop letting useless emotions dictate your choices. You stop letting fear whisper lies in your ear. You stop giving in to the same distractions that have stolen years from your life. Because let's be honest, how many hours have you wasted? How many days have you let slip away, telling yourself tomorrow like a fool. How many times have you set a goal only to quit the moment it got hard? That's the truth you don't want to face. You are your own worst enemy. But there's a way out. There's always a way out. And it starts with brutality, not towards others, towards yourself. You tear yourself apart, rip out every weak habit, burn every excuse, and build a mind so strong that nothing, not pain, not failure, not betrayal, not doubt, can break you. That's what mastery looks like. Cold, logical, relentless. You wake up and there is no debate, no hesitation, no should I. You execute. You train your mind like a weapon, sharpen it like a blade, until you move through the world like a machine, calculating, precise, unstoppable. Because the second you allow even a sliver of weakness, a single drop of hesitation, the floodgates open, and weakness spreads like a virus. One compromise leads to another. One skipped task becomes a pattern. One excuse becomes a lifestyle. And before you know it, you're back at zero. You think you've tried hard enough. You haven't. Not even close. You say you've given it your all. You're lying. Look at your habits. Look at your time. Look at your results. They don't lie. Numbers don't lie. If you were really pushing yourself, your life wouldn't look like this. If you were really disciplined, you wouldn't be stuck in the same loop. Your body, your mind, your bank account, your skills, they all reflect your choices. Not luck, not fate, not some bullshit excuse about not having the right opportunity. You are exactly where you deserve to be. And the second you accept that, the second you take full ownership of where you are, is the second you gain the power to change it. Because weak people blame. Weak people complain. Weak people wait for something external to come and save them. But nobody's coming. No miracle, no handout, no easy way out. Just you versus you. And the truth, most people will never win this fight. They don't have the guts. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the ability to push past discomfort and keep going when everything in them wants to stop. That's why they stay weak. That's why they chase short-term pleasure instead of long-term power. That's why they drown in distractions, stuffing their brains with useless entertainment, numbing themselves with comfort, running from the harsh reality that they are nothing because they never put in the work to be something. But you have a choice. You can let your mind continue to own you, continue to drag you down, continue to fill your head with excuses and fears and hesitation. Or you can take control, cut off everything that weakens you, destroy every habit that holds you back, reprogram yourself to think and act like a machine, logical, efficient, ruthless. No wasted time, no wasted thoughts, no wasted movement. It won't be easy, it will be brutal. You will have to kill parts of yourself that you've held on to for years. You will have to abandon comfort. You will have to suffer. But suffering now is the price of power later. And if you refuse to suffer now, then you will suffer forever. Because there is no middle ground. Either you control your mind, or the world controls it for you. Either you master yourself, or you remain a slave. And slaves, they don't choose their future. They don't get a future. So what's it going to be? Stay weak? Stay stuck? Stay a prisoner inside your own head, watching your life pass by while you tell yourself the same tired excuses? Or do you rise? Do you take the pain, the discipline, the sacrifices, and use them to forge yourself into something unstoppable? The choice has always been yours. It always will be. But just remember, you will live with the consequences. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your deadliest enemy. There is no middle ground. Every thought you entertain, every impulse you indulge, every moment you hesitate is either sharpening your mind or dulling it beyond repair. Right now, you're weak. You let distractions pull you like a puppet on strings. You let emotions dictate your decisions like some mindless fool. You let your past chain you down like a prisoner who doesn't even realize the cell door was never locked to begin with. And you sit there, wondering why you aren't where you want to be, why nothing changes, why the same cycles repeat like a bad joke you refuse to stop laughing at. Because you haven't taken control. You let life happen to you instead of forcing it into submission. Control is not about feeling strong. It's not about pretending you're above pain or acting like discipline comes easy. It doesn't. It's war. A war you fight every second of every day against the version of yourself that wants to stay weak, that wants to stay comfortable, that wants to cling to excuses like a drowning man grasping for air. And the truth? Most people lose this war. They don't have what it takes. They don't want to suffer. They want easy. They want comfortable. They want a shortcut that doesn't exist. And that's why they fail. That's why they wake up decades later, realizing they wasted their entire lives on bullshit. And the world, it loves to see you weak. It profits off your distractions. It feeds off your emotions. It controls you by keeping you addicted to every little cheap dopamine hit that makes you feel okay for 5 seconds before throwing you back into the same miserable reality. And you let it happen. You pick up your phone and scroll your life away. You drown in mindless entertainment, numbing yourself from the fact that you're wasting time you'll never get back. You put off your goals, your dreams, your discipline, because comfort is easier than effort. You think you have time, but you don't. The average person lives 27,000 days, and you've already wasted how many? Count them. How many days have you lost to laziness, to distractions, to pointless regrets and self-pity? And yet you still act like you can afford to waste more, like you can wake up tomorrow and magically have the discipline you refuse to build today. You won't. The version of you that is disciplined, that is powerful, that is in control, that version isn't coming. You have to create him, and you do it by cutting the bullshit, by killing every excuse, by refusing to let your mind wander like a stray dog chasing its own tail. You think you deserve better. You don't deserve anything you haven't earned. That's reality. That's life. The world doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care how badly you want it. It cares about results. You can either complain about how unfair that is, or you can do something about it. Discipline is the only currency that matters. It buys you freedom. It buys you power. It buys you control. And right now, you're broke. Every time you give into weakness, you spend another day in debt to your own failures. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you dig your grave a little deeper. Every time you hesitate, you lose. And the worst part? You know it. You feel it in your gut. That crushing weight of regret. That sinking feeling that you're running out of time and doing nothing about it. So what the hell are you waiting for? More motivation? A sign from the universe? Some perfect moment where everything feels right? It will never come. The only time you have is now. And the only way to win is to act ruthlessly, without hesitation, without emotion, without mercy for your own weaknesses. You train your mind like a soldier at war. You wake up with one mission: execution. No distractions, no wasted time, no indulgence in useless thoughts or pointless feelings. Because feelings don't matter, action does. The people who rule the world aren't smarter than you. They aren't luckier than you. They simply mastered their minds while you let yours run wild like an undisciplined child. That's the only difference. You think too much and act too little. You wait for motivation instead of creating it. You let obstacles slow you instead of smashing through them. And that's why you stay stuck. That's why nothing changes. You want real control, then start acting like it. Cut the distractions, cut the emotions, cut the weakness. Be brutal with yourself. Be relentless. Every second of your day should serve a purpose. If it doesn't, eliminate it. If it doesn't make you stronger, it doesn't belong in your life. If it doesn't push you forward, it's holding you back. And if you refuse to make these cuts, if you refuse to suffer now, then don't cry when you suffer forever. Because discipline is the price of freedom. And you either pay it now, or you pay with your entire life.